Hey there, good morning, fellas. How are you doing on a great Thursday morning? MLB opening day is here. Hope you guys are off to a nice little start this morning. We got a big show on tap. Remember, we're doing the daily show. And then at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, hang around because Payoff Pitch will be live. Myself and the Hockey Squirrel previewing all 15 games today on the MLB slate and give you guys leans and bets. And of course, for all 15 of those games, let's first make sure we, of course, go ahead and do the recap. And then we'll get into the bets a little bit later on. Let's go ahead and show that recap where we do get to ring that cash register after a 2-in-1 night at plus 0.65 units. So just love to see that. Nice little 10 or so days we're having here of just trajectorying up and putting money in our pocket. How about Mikal Bridges over 2.5 made 3-pointers? Easy cash right there. Came through in the fourth quarter. He ended the game, I think he ended the game 4 for 6 if I recall correctly. And I told you guys yesterday we felt like double dipping because goddamn you can double dip against those Houston Rockets to do Cam Johnson. Well, Cam Johnson also went over his 3-pointer. So just a great angle. And obviously one that, couple weeks has been treating us really well. Just point guards, shooting guards, and obviously Johnson's neither of those, but justified on why you should pivot to Johnson as opposed to Dinwiddie. But either way, it's just a great angle. I mean, the Rockets are just god-awful at defending the three-pointer. So what do we target, though? We want to wait for them to be on the road, so therefore you're getting an NBA player at home where they shoot better. So we'll see when the Rockets play next on the road, and we'll look to target a shooting guard or a point guard. It's been too damn good to us. So love that right there. How about James Wiseman over 13.5 points? Boy, what do we say about that one, fellas? How about 8 points in the first quarter? How about 12 points at halftime? How about 6 for 8 in the first half with 12 points? Pistons are up 2. And then we get treated to an unnecessary, uncomfortable sweat as he didn't do a damn thing in the third quarter. Well, he was on the court. They played him. He just didn't take a shot. At the end of the third quarter, still 12 points, 6 for 8 shooting. He starts off the fourth quarter on the bench. You know he's going to check in around minute 6, minute 7. That's exactly what he did. And it's just like, can he take a shot? The dude's 6 for 8. You can't stop him. And now you're getting your ass kicked, and now you're starting to take threes, and now you're starting to go away from the big man because you're starting to claw back out of a deficit, and 3 points is better than 2 points in a comeback. God damn, thankfully they came back just enough, guys, where late in that game with a minute to go, they needed a bucket, and they went to Wiseman, and he got us there with a minute to go. You talking about 12 points at halftime, 6 of 8 shooting, just need 1 bucket, and we get treated to that very uncomfortable sweat. Unreal right there. And the Pistons lost the game. You goddamn deserve to lose that game, Pistons. Like, you have a guy who's 6 for 8. Nobody's more productive than him. He's your leading scorer at halftime, and he just ghosts the entire second half. You deserve to lose that. That's why you're a shit clown organization, Detroit Pistons. That's why you do stuff like that last night. You lose the game by 1 point. Just keep going to Wiseman. And my bet aside, who gives a shit? He's your leading scorer, 6 for 8. You got to go to him. Goddamn, thankfully, I was about to rage last night and probably even keep raging this morning if I'd have lost that bet. I would have been so hot. So, yeah, thankfully he came through for us, though. Love to see that right there. And then Westbrook, you can see it there on the screenshot there, kind of the pissed off face, just because we're not making that play of Kawhi Leonard, is not involved in that game, right? You got to overcome no Paul George, no Kawhi Leonard. Nah, no chance in hell. I mean, Westbrook skills have dropped off, but he's still an all-star, still in his locker, and he can pull it out at any time. And last night, with no stars other than him, he needed to pull it out, and the dude went for a season-high 36 points. So that one's just unfortunate. That's kind of more the frustration of betting the NBA, right? You've got the Chris Paul one from a couple weeks ago that burned us. You've also got that Jared Allen one. Remember when he's healthy, nobody knows he's sick? Pre-game warm-up, no mention of him being sick. He plays 3 minutes and he bows out due to an illness. Like, if you bet on the NBA, roster utilization and management is going to get you some losses. It tripped us up right there with Westbrook. Couldn't do anything about that. But still, just a fantastic week we're having. A plus 4.35 units. Hit that like button, fellas. Hit that like button if you're a part of this last night's cash. Love to see that right there. All right, what are we going to go ahead and do today? We're going to talk about some NBA and NHL bets. I got nothing according to those because there's only 2 NBA games, and I don't give a shit. Off the top of my head, though, just knowing who plays, I would think Jamal Murray under points or over assists if you want some NBA action tonight because they're going up against the Pelicans. They're not like Bulls, like elite, point guard defending, but they're good enough, right? Where I think Jamal Murray will have low points and assists. Again, not a play I'm interested in, but that's the only thing I would really do in either one of those two games. Otherwise, NHL, I've never really dabbled in the NHL much to begin with, so we're sure as hell not going to start now. Instead, I've got 8 MLB bets. That's right, 8 MLB bets on this great opening day. So what do we got to do, though, before we do it? We've talked about blindly betting every MLB dog just from an entertainment standpoint, right? Entertainment. We're not going to go through a potential ass whipping like we did last year. We may have made 46 units in baseball, but you've got to subtract the 19 units we lost blindly betting MLB dogs. So it should have been 66, but you are what you are. That's why we say we're 46, because that's what we earned. 46 units. So let's just go ahead, and I'm just going to do these live every day with you guys just so we can do it together, because it's strictly, again, just an entertainment standpoint. So let's go ahead and get on into Barstools. That's where I mentioned it to you guys that we've got it. So I'm going to hop on into Barstools here, and we're just going to blindly bet every dog. Let me remind you, though, you'll see people doing this, probably other people, and everybody's going to report a different win-loss, right? I mean, it's all matters of when you buy it. If you look at like a Twitter person and they've got like a check mark, well, they've got connections with the sports books and they can get the closing lines, and that's what they report. I'm not getting the closing lines. We're going to log in right now. We're just going to go ahead and flat bet it. Remind everybody here in the upper left-hand corner, told you guys, I don't really use Barstools. I just dropped in $100 in Barstools, just a nice flat, even amount. And we're only going to do $1. This is just for entertainment standpoint, just to see like what happened last year when it just completely fell off the wheels. Because remember, it was justified, right? There's a reason why we did it, and the reason why we were putting real units on it and justifying it. Well, it didn't go our way, but we're going to do it this year from just an entertainment standpoint. So here we're taking all the doggies. Woo, woo, woo. Where are my dogs at? Maximum is 12. Well, aren't there 15 games? Wait, what do we got here? Wait a second. How many MLB games are there? It says max 12, and then I got one left. I thought are there not, is all MLB teams not in action today? Let's see. How many games we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, we do have 15. What? You guys aren't offering lines on a couple of these? Like, what are we talking about? Braves, Orioles? Come on. Why are they doing this? We don't have the Yankees? Get this out of the effing way. We don't have the Yankees game. Okay. There's a pitching change or something? Did Garrett Cole versus Logan Webb no longer happening? And what's the other game they don't have that we got to remember and come back and buy at the start of this? They've got Braves, Nats, and then the next block is the 1 o'clock. We've got Red Sox. We've got Cubs, Brewers. We've got Rays, Tigers. Okay. So they've got those. We've got Rangers. We've got Twins. Okay. We got Reds, Pirates. We've got Mets, Marlins. Cardinals, Blue Jays. White Sox. Okay. That's the one we don't have. So we don't have Yankees, Giants, and for whatever reason we don't have Padres, Rockies. Like, what are we talking about? So we'll buy the ones we do have. Of course, we're just slapping in $1, fellas. Just slapping in a good old dollar. Apply to all bets. $1. So that gives me 12. All right. Hit them. All right. We're locked all in on there. Yeah. Change it. Great. I don't care. Odds changed. Good. Hopefully in my favor. I'm sure they did because everybody bets favorites, and that's what we do. Nobody wants to take a chance on the dog, and we'll get the Guardians in. So for whatever reason, they don't have the Rockies-Padres game, and they don't have Yankees-Giants. Are you kidding me? All right. Oh, well. We'll come back in, and we'll spend the other couple bucks a little bit later, I guess. But that's just, we're going to do those every day while we're hanging out. Strictly an entertainment sort of thing, and that way, we're all, involved in it together. So that's what we'll do right there. All right, let's hop on up into this comment section, and then we'll let you guys hang out for a little bit. I am going to leave the comment. Obviously, this broadcast stays up until the start of Playoff Pitch, so the chat is obviously live. You guys talk amongst yourself, fire in some leans. I'm going to be sitting right here waiting for the Hockey Squirrel to join the broadcast, and I'll chime into the broadcast or to the chat as well. So let's get it. I love the energy. Love the energy. Let's get it, Brian. Loving it, Brian. Good morning, Corey. It's Christmas in March. I love that attitude, Christmas in March. Clippers did us dirty last night. Kawhi Leonard sits for personal reasons. It's just the frustration in the NBA. Like, you got to be on board with it. Good morning, Diane. Mrs. Mattis is in here. She's up in here. Opening day should be a holiday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who's getting sick and calling in to work sick? Feels good to be back, Nick. Feels good having you back, Nick. Let's go. Let's go, Jason. Let's go. No sprinkle on that. There's a great comment. No sprinkle on the 300 million one parlay. Like that right there, Austin. Good stuff, my man. Good stuff. All right, guys, so that's it. Obviously, the Daily Show, if we don't have NBA, we don't have NHL bets, we're not giving out any bets. It's just a recap, hang out, get the juices flowing before Payoff Pitch starts at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Hang around then. We do have 8 bets. Chat will stay open. I'll still be active in the chat. I'll see you guys in about 10 or so minutes. I'll go get the Hockey Squirrel, and I'll be right on back. Hey there, everybody. MLB opening day is here. We don't have the squirrel. Hold on a second. Gotta get the squirrel up in here. I got the wrong guest in here. There we go. There's the squirrel. What's up, man? MLB fans, MLB opening day is here. The Payoff Pitch is live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time to talk you through the entire day's baseball slate. What can you expect on the Payoff Pitch? We'll get to that in a second. First, what's up, Squirrel? How's it going, man?
Hey, it's been a long time, honestly. Really, since, I guess, last baseball season for the most part. Visited you once there, actually. It was really nice to hang out there, come to the Windy City. So I had a good first experience there. And yeah, man, college basketball absolutely was very fun. Really up until March Madness, let's say. But for the whole winter, that's kind of been the moneymaker there for me, man. It's been nuts. So, a lot of more has gone into the education, as a sports bettor. A lot of growing has happened in the last half a year here. And geez, man, November, I made 42 units implementing really a new method of sports betting. So then I started a Discord platform instead of sending emails, which I used to do. And this has led me to allowing people to get picks a lot faster, get information a lot faster. It's real-time updates. And with that, in December, we made 25 units, broke even in January, and made, I think, 35 or 38 units in February. And now March, we're down a little bit. I think I want to say around 6 or 8 units at the moment. I'm down for this month. But, it's a long-term game, and it's going to happen. So never feels good to lose. But, I'm really glad baseball's here. And, I'm looking forward to seeing how my new approach is going to work with it going forward. But I've been dabbling in props and whatnot in the NBA and kind of putzing around with projections and all that kind of stuff as well. So
love to see that right there. MLB opening day, tons of excitement today. God damn, I got butterflies right here. I feel like a kid in the candy store. I'm like so excited. Couldn't sleep last night. Like first day of school shit going on around here. You know what I mean? I'm with these guys live every day, and I've got the butterflies. I've got so much excitement just to jump into the MLB slate. So we got a new sponsor on board this season. We got Bet Openly.
We do.
Fantastic sports.
I'm wearing the shirt, man.
Oh, there you are. Yeah.
Bet Openly shirt.
You know Bet Openly and I do. Why don't you spend a minute and just educate the people on how great Bet Openly can be to them?
Yeah, absolutely. So think of a normal sports book. If you're paying minus 110 on both sides, just remove 9% of the juice. So 9 cents off of that, you'd be paying minus 101 instead. Now, this may not seem like a lot in one bet, and I'm sure it depends on how much you're trying to bet, but this dramatically adds up over time and saves you money when you lose, and you win more when you win. It literally benefits both parties, and you get better odds. It's a betting exchange is what it's called. They're not the only one, but they are my favorite one. And Gino, I think, is going to pop by the show tomorrow morning, actually. So I will get to see him hopefully in the chat there.
All right, cool. And in the video description, of course, you can get Bet Openly's information, so you can go on over there and check them out, and we'll talk about them. And that'll be good stuff. Hey, before we jump on into today's slate, there are some things that the fans should know about. First of all, they should know what the hell they're going to get here on the Payoff Pitch. You can see there on your left-hand side, we've got some menus. We call them innings that we'll go ahead and run through. Quick hits will just be our opening day thoughts, kind of what we think about maybe the wins and losses last night, or maybe what we think about the slate or how it looks that day. So that's what we'll do there. And around the bases, we'll each take 2 games and break them down for you. And then, of course, in that analysis and previews, we'll give you a lean and a bet in there as well. And when we get to shut up and pitch, that's our third inning. You've heard enough from us. It's time to respect the guys that are on the bump and give you some pitching props and shut up and pitch. And fourth inning, long shots is pretty self-explanatory. There's some dogs out there that got some bark. They got some venom. They got some growl up into them. Well, we'll tell you which underdogs can go ahead and put some money in your pocket. What about keep swinging? Yeah, that's got to give respect to the hitters. We love to see the long ball. So which guys can hit home runs, or which guys maybe can you put in a over 0.5 hits parlay? That's what you can get in the fifth inning called keep swinging. Keep it on coming down to It's a Steal. My intention is to give you the best NRFI of the day. Squirrel likes to give you maybe like the best value of the day, and It's a Steal. Coming to the seventh inning, coming to a stretch, you can expect our best bet of the day. If you're looking for a win, if you're just down in the dumps and you just God, I just need a goddamn win, fellas. What can I? Is there a winner out there? Yay, you can get that and coming to a stretch in the 7th inning. Double play in the 8th inning. Everybody loves a good parlay. Well, come on, hang around for the 8th inning. We'll give you the parlay of the day. And there in the closer, just like the MLB's got a closer, we'll close this show by giving you our official bets because we'll talk about most, if not all, games throughout the show, but it doesn't mean we're betting all this stuff. Hang around to the 9th inning, the closer, right, and you can find out which we've actually decided to go ahead and put our money on. A couple things I just want to mention real quick. MLB's obviously got some new changes. Squirrel, the bases are bigger. They've gone from 15 to 18 inches. You think 3 inches matters? Yeah, you may not, but I bet your significant other may give you a different answer. So 3 inches does matter.
I was going to not go there, but
the 3 inches matters, fellas. What is that going to mean? Safer calls, more runs, etc. So look forward to that. The pitch clock, I'm looking forward to seeing how the pitch clock. We know it's going to speed up the game. We know it's going to add to the value and entertainment. So we look forward to that. But what's it going to do in terms of pitching and hitting rhythm? We don't know quite yet. Pick off to first. You can only throw over to first 2 times. 2 times can you throw over to first, so that'll obviously be impacting. And no defensive shift. That's going to be one of the bigger ones there. No defensive shift on each side of second base. You must have 2 infielders. That should be more hits. Maybe pitchers not lasting along, and maybe even more runs. Just a couple of changes that happened in the offseason that you should be keeping aware on, because I think they'll greatly impact our betting. With that being said, my quick hit is just effing opening days here. What about for you, Squirrel?
Oh, man. I'll just say, because I have so much to say and I've learned so much and I really love to help people, just stick around, man. Keep coming back to the show and you'll pick up little nuggets every day. You're not going to learn to be this like professional bettor and make millions in one night. I've spent countless thousands of hours in front of a computer screen, trying it all different ways, many, many years in the making here. And I don't know everything, still, but I like to do my best to try to help people, and we like to see people active in the chat. We like to see people coming back every day, and we hope that you'll stay consistent.
All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the meat of the show. Get to second base, or around the bases there in the 2nd inning. Why don't you kick it off? What's a game that
Sure.
you think you got a nice angle on?
Well, I want to ask your opinion. I have a lean. I may get to it in a later inning, but the Blue Jays and the Cardinals is a game I cannot get off of. I like the Blue Jays. I had some debates with people. I have a very good friend who is on the Cardinals at some slight plus money. I feel that the Blue Jays are underpriced. This doesn't mean that I've actually bet it. It's not something that I'm running to. And the reason why is because typically, just in my experience, when I see something that I think is too underpriced, it can be as well a sign that, there's something maybe I don't know or I'm, missing. I don't know. But you have to consider it from all angles, right? You got the Cardinals at a home opener. They're certainly not a bad team by any means. I just have this deep love for Alek Manoah and for one of my favorite players in baseball, Vlad Guerrero Jr. And that whole team's stacked. I think Kirk is an excellent hitter. They're very, very offensively minded in Toronto there. So I do like teams that can put up runs. I like teams that can put up goals in hockey. And sometimes even if the defense is a little bit suspect, you look at a team maybe like the Edmonton Oilers. They score a ton, right? But sometimes that's what you need is a high-powered offense. It can be a high-scoring game, and you can still win. I do like the Toronto Blue Jays, but I'm curious what you've thought about it pouring over that game and the odds attached to the teams.
I mean, I look at it on the surface, and I give your starting pitching edge there to Toronto Blue Jays there and Manoah up over Mikhailos for sure. Offensive-wise, I mean, how many times did we back both of those teams from an offensive standpoint last season? So maybe comes into the season, maybe a little bit of a wash. And bullpen, though, we do know the Cardinals had the better edge last year from a bullpen, so that's unknown this year. But on the surface, I would take the better starter and the even offense, and hope it can work out for you, because I do like Manoah that much more than McCullough. So I like your pick.
I do too. And so we're looking at odds of around minus 105 last I looked, maybe minus 106, minus 107, something like that. And this always depends on your book. Again, you're going to get the best odds. Unless you're really tied in with some good bookie, you're going to find really great odds at Bet Openly. If I go to offer that right now, let me take a look here. I'm just curious what I can even get for it. Minus 108 there. So pretty close to the best odds, if not, what the best odds you can get.
Okay, all right, good stuff. I want to go ahead and kick off the show for my first game, being the Angels are taking on the Athletics today, and kind of look at how these teams are performing in spring training. So you look at the Angels and what they've been doing. There's left-handers, as you have Kyle Muller on the mound there for the Athletics. Boy, one of the top teams in spring training versus left-handers, hitting 290, on-base percentage of 381, slugging 449. And a lot of their resurgence has come around Anthony Rendon, come over from the Nationals a couple seasons ago, just been crippled with injuries. Well, he had the highest batting average, tied with Corey Seager in all of spring training, hitting 467, slugging 800 with an on-base percentage of 539. So he's turned it around. The team is crushing left-handers, and you just get a dream matchup here with Kyle Muller. God-awful numbers in spring training. He's thrown 18 innings. He's given up 13 runs, 3 home runs. People are hitting 370 off him with a 1.89 whip. Just atrocious numbers. I mean, those are numbers that just make you drool when you just want to put in some F5 team totals. Like, you love that stuff right there. And this is not just like he's having a bad spring. Made 3 starts last year for the Braves. They sent his ass packing after an 8.03 ERA, a 1.7 whip, and a 260 opponent batting average. So you're catching a starter struggling mightily in spring training, and catching a team hot right now versus left-handers. Sign me up for that Angels F5 team total. I know the number is at 2.5, and when I get to the closer inning, I'm going to reveal an official bet of 1.5. Well, you see our Twitter information rolling there below us. I gave this bet out last night. It's moved to 2.5. I still like it, but give us a follow on other platforms. You can get this at a better line last night at plus over 1.5. So Angels to me.
Yeah, that's another thing I want to say
today
as well. Sounds great, by the way. And another thing that I want to say is, if you're going to beat closing line value, which is my whole shtick, this is what I do. This is how you win in sports betting, is beating that closing line, and not just by a couple cents, but you want to beat it enough that you're overcoming the vigorish that the bookmaker's charging. The way to do that in a money line sport, predominantly like hockey and baseball, very closely related as money line sports go, you're going to want to bet early, especially, if you're not only trying to get the best price, but also, beat that closing line. You want to try to bet early. So I will be giving out some plays as well as you, I'm sure, on. I'm going to try to utilize Twitter a little bit more to do that. I also have a Facebook group, if anybody wants to join it, Hockey Squirrel Sports Betting. But I'm going to try to use the Hockey Squirrel Twitter a little bit more, just because it's a little bit quicker, a little bit shorter, So I'll just put those out probably the night before. So if you're going to be following the show for any length of time, definitely, give us a follow on other.
The money train last year. Hell, damn right they're following this show. With all kinds of money. What's that second game you want to talk about there, Squirrel?
Sure. This is a line I don't think you can any longer get, unfortunately, but I had taken the Orioles and Red Sox under 9 at minus 110. I think it's 8.5 now, so I'm closing good with a 0.5 point on the total. My members did get that one in the Discord, and it didn't hold, unfortunately, until the show. But again, this is where you want to be, is beating that closing line. And it's not always about getting the pick, but it's learning the methodology of how to get that value. And betting early is one of those things. Watching the lines, watching movement is another one. So this is how I came across this pick. I saw it move at your sharper books. And so that is... really, I'm more so about the numbers than the feeling of whatever. We have no data to go off of right now, but it is a lot of starters, right? So it's Kyle Gibson against Corey Kluber. It's in Boston, and really, that's all I have to say is I'm beating the line by a 0.5 point on the total, and I'm okay with that. That's my value. That's my angle.
All right, under 9 right there in Orioles Red Sox. I'm going to go ahead and talk about a game that everybody's talking about. Everybody's betting it. Everybody's trying to fade Patrick Corbin. People can't get the money out of their pockets fast enough to fade Patrick Corbin. Yeah, put me in the bucket of people who are going to fade Patrick Corbin. I'm going to do the Braves F5 team total. If you want to do Braves F5 money line, if you want to do full game, whatever the hell you want to do, just fade this bum Patrick Corbin. 2022, he was the worst MLB starter with a 6.31 ERA, 1.7 whip, 321 opponents batting average. Hey, he went up against these Braves 3 times. Don't count that fourth start where he bowed out. He knew he was going to get his ass rocked and bowed out after 3 batters. When he actually stayed in there, yeah, he got rocked just as bad. 13.2 innings pitched, 26 hits, 15 earned runs, and 3 home runs. What's the number 1 offense in spring training? It's your Atlanta Braves. They come in number 1 in batting average, number 1 in on-base percentage, and 4th in slugging. Admittedly, it is not number 1 if you want to look at how they perform versus just left-handers, but an offense that's coming in smoking hot overall, and they're going to see their good friend Corbin on that other side, 60 feet away. Oh, bring that shit on, Patrick Corbin. We're going to rock it all out of here. And then you want to look at the lineup that the Braves are throwing out there. 8 of the 9 starters have seen Patrick Corbin. 6 of those 8 guys are hitting 275 off of him with 9 combined home runs. Yeah, sign me up for a Braves. I can live with that outcome. So that'll be the pick right there. Braves F5 team total. All right. Shut up and pitch time. That was a whole lot of talking. It's time to give respect to the guys on the bump. It is time to shut up and pitch. You got a pitching prop?
I do, but I have but one pitching prop. And I was just kind of flipping through all of the, oh, cool. We have comments popping up on the screen. I didn't know you did that.
I mean, try and do
That's
that.
That's pretty cool. You're getting all tech savvy on me this year.
I got Hunter Green. That's a good angle. I like it.
Yeah, I was flipping through the props, and I came across Blake Snell, and that line said over under 6.5 strikeouts. And I said, I think that's too high, and I took the under at a -113.
Oof.
Yeah, and speaking of props, I don't have the email up, but Bet Openly is actually starting player props now via contests, I believe. So that's pretty cool, and I think that also opens it up to 18 or older instead of 21 or older. I don't want to say incorrect information, but I think this is what I heard. And I'll read the email and give that out tomorrow a little bit more. But yeah, it's in dev, I think, or in testing, and within a week or two, it sounds like they're going to get some player prop contest going on at Bet Openly as well. So if you're into that, you're into DFS, you like the fantasy projections and whatnot, that's another angle that you can use that website for. But yeah, Blake Snell under 6.5 Ks, -113 for the under is the best price out there.
I feel you coming in with the sweats already. I'm already sweating under 6.5 Ks of Blake Snell on the mound. Boy, you're putting it to me early here at 11 a.m. on the morning here. So, hey, I got a little information later in the show that'll maybe even justify or maybe even give people a little bit of encouragement to come along with you on that 6.5. I like it right there.
Wonderful. I like supporting information. I like that.
You know what I want to go to with this morning?
What's that? Mitch Keller?
Go to the cash cow that is Mitch Keller, folks. How much money? You still got money in your pocket left over from last season where he was filling it up. That's how much he helped you put in there. Let's just go to over 4.5 Ks. You can get 5.5 Ks, but there is 4.5s out there, so that's what I'll go ahead and do. This guy, we know him well, but you may not know he's gotten better in the offseason. Strikeout to walk ratio is tremendously better. 20 strikeouts to only 1 walk in spring training. That's 11.5 K per 9. Like, that's guys that you want to just take it over and live with it. His fastball velocity is up to 96 miles an hour in spring training. He wasn't hitting those numbers last season. And remember, a guy that improved last season, like we kind of took off going over hits allowed or, earned runs allowed that he would give up because he got better. He had a 2.71 ERA over his last 15 starts in 2022. And this prop we're talking about today, over 4.5 Ks, cashed in 7 of his last starts, and it cashed versus the Reds in that stretch. Mitch Keller, sign me up, over 4.5 Ks. The other one I want to go ahead and give out is another semi-cash cow, but unfortunately the books took it away from us kind of early in the last season, which was Zach Greinke under 1.5 walks at -119. And overall in 2022, it cashed in 20 of his 26 starts. It cashed in 3 of the 5 starts versus the Twins in 2022. The Twins are scuffling in spring training. Hopefully that continues in today, where they were batting 29th out of 30 teams in Major League Baseball, and the Twins ranked only 13th in walks in spring training, 20th when you look at only right-handed pitching, so a little worse versus right-handers. So Zach Greinke, a guy that's got great control, I think he'll be benefited by this pitch clock. An old man, he'll just want to catch it and throw it. I think it's really going to benefit Zach Greinke. So I'll take his under 1.5 walks at -119. Woo! There's some dogs out there, Squirrel. Long shot, 4th inning.
Yeah.
Which dogs are going to bring home some money today?
Hey, we don't call it long shots for no reason. I'm taking a big one. And, I took this bet, and you had mentioned a great point, and going forward, it's something to keep in mind. I think we should tell other people about it as well who are trying to become, maybe more serious bettors and get the best of the number. And that is generally, and especially in baseball, your underdog prices are usually going to be the best right before game time.
Oh,
So
yes.
if you have a massive underdog that you like, wait it out and try to get to post or right around first pitch time, then lay your game. I didn't do that because I saw the number starting to move. I got afraid that I wouldn't get as good of a number, so I pulled the trigger on the San Francisco Giants against Garrett Cole and the Yankees at home. It's just one of those deals where it's a publicly loved team. It's going to be a publicly loved pitcher. There's going to be a ton of tickets and monies and parlays and whatnot coming in on a massive price on the Yankees. And you get a lot of value that way until you, at least, especially in the beginning of the season, right? Until you start to see who the better teams are, who the better pitchers are, who's in the groove, all that. But 160, honestly, to go against Logan Webb and to go against everything that the Giants have, they're not a bad team. They're not a plus 160 team, at least, not from last year, not, in my opinion, or at least as far as the line has been concerned. They're not much worse than plus 160. I've seen it bounce a little bit between 150 and 160, but that is where I take my stake in the game.
I like the Giants. I think that's a nice pick today. And that's also a good time to remind people, remember we would get roasted last year? Sometimes we would give out an underdog. Like, folks, these are an underdog. Like, they don't do it all better than the opponent. It's a reason they're an underdog, but we think there's enough things that they do better than their opponent that the underdog can go ahead and bring you a cash. One of those teams, I've got 3 underdogs on this MLB opening day that I think will come through for you at a good plus money price. How about those Detroit Tigers taking on the left-handed pitcher and Shane McClanahan? Don't be scared of Shane McClanahan. They cashed their F5 team total last season against Shane McClanahan. They were hot last year versus left-handers, and they're number 4 in spring training hitting left-handers. They're hitting 303. Now, you want to compare that to the Rays. They're also facing a left-hander there in Rodriguez. They were only hitting 226. So you get 303 versus 226. Big discrepancy there in hitting. A bullpen edge, okay, this is where you're talking underdog. You do give the advantage there to the Rays. But I just love the Tigers versus left-handers. And if you're a friend of the program, you know Tigers versus left-handers is so damn good to us. I think they're worthy of a long shot because they're going to be putting up some runs today. I also like the Royals today. They're coming in hot versus right-handed pitching. They were number 5 in spring training, hitting 270. Twins were struggling versus right-handers in spring training. They're bottom 5, only hitting 234. The Twins also have the 6th most strikeouts versus right-handers. I know Zach Greinke's not an overpowering guy, but it just shows more evidence that the Twins were scuffling coming into the start of the season. Bullpen-wise, yeah, I probably would tip it to the Twins, but I'm not too sure about that. We all know if you get a good start and you get in your good bullpen arms, all these teams have good closers and good setup men. So, yeah, I think the Royals could come through. And then the last one I like is the Guardians. Both of these offenses in spring training were relatively middle of the pack, but Bieber versus Castillo, massive advantage right here. Castillo struggled all spring training. 17 innings pitched, 19 hits, 9 earned runs, letting people hit 271 off of him with a 1.41 whip. And if this becomes a bullpen game, we don't know if 2022 success carries over to this year, but almost nobody was better than that Guardians bullpen last season. So give me the better starter. Give me what we hope will be a better bullpen. And an offense that's going to be a wash, I think the Guardians. So Guardians, Royals, Tigers, to me, were 3 dogs that just jumped off, and I think those will be great ones to you guys. All right, 5th inning, keep swinging. We got to give these guys some hitting props for today. What do you got there, Squirrel?
I really don't have one. I will give out another, I guess, underdog possibly then, just because I haven't put it anywhere else in my, I guess, program, so to speak. But I ended up taking the Chicago White Sox. That's another scary kind of play to go against the Houston Astros. I got plus 130. I think they dipped down to 120, 124 last I looked. Again, these numbers are always moving. There's always play in the numbers and whatnot, but try to beat that closing line. I feel fairly comfortable at plus 130 with Dylan Cease on the mound. And again, just one of these spots where these big teams, your Dodgers, your Yankees, your Astros, they don't always win, right? And you either get a big price on them that you have to pay, and you still lose. It doesn't feel good, man. So, um, again, beating that closing line is really it's going to be the common theme of this season.
Like your White Sox right there, obviously they don't have Altuve, which is their trendsetter, and that's going to be massive for that lineup, not having him. Then the second thing is you do get Framber Valdez, I believe, on the mound, which is a left-hander. Are you going to get the 2021 White Sox, which smoke left-handers, or the 2022s that did do that well? If you get that 2021 White Sox that crush left-handers, I think that's a great underdog pick. And again, I think Dylan Cease can match Framber Valdez without Altuve, so I like it right there. All right, let me give these guys some hitting props. We got to make the joke last season that, hey, you could do a same-game parlay against Patrick Corbin. Those cashed last season. You could do the same thing today, and I don't need to tell you guys, so we'll exclude the conversation. But no, any Braves hitter, I said 6 of the 8 are hitting 275 off him. Just grab a couple Braves guys. Non-Braves player, what about C.J. Cron there of the Colorado Rockies? He's 9 for 20 off Blake Snell. That's hitting 450 with 2 doubles and a home run. You get what I look for in hitting, a righty on lefty matchup, right? We know that favors the hitter on a lefty on righty matchup. So love that right there. And you can also do Nick Gordon there of the Minnesota Twins. He's 7 for 11 against Greinke. That's hitting 636, 2 doubles, a home runs, and 0 Ks. So he's always putting the ball in play. So love that. And with Nick Gordon, you get the lefty on righty matchup. If you do a Gordon and Cron over 0.5 hits parlay, that comes in at plus 119. All right, we got to go ahead and give these guys a steal. I'll go ahead and kick it off here. I like to do my NRFI of the day. NRFI of the day today is Mets, Marlins, minus 115. NRFI of the day.
I guessed it when you asked me, too.
You did, yeah. I actually threw this at Squirrel yesterday. It's my first bet, yeah.
Jason goes, yeah, I got a NRFI. It's my first bet of my first NRFI of the baseball season. I said, oh, let me look at the pitchers here, and I said, let me try to pick it out. And I go through, and I was like, oh, I said every starter is good. I was like, it could be a lot of games, but I said, I'm going to say the Mets and Marlins. And he goes, 1 for 1.
Love it.
Oh, yeah. Scherzer and Alcantara, man. That's a great one, I think.
NRFI Nation, guys, stand up. And if you want to sweat out 6 ounces of glory, if you're in the mood to get on a good sweat with me this afternoon, come on over here at 3:05 p.m. Central Time, right here on this YouTube channel. I'll stream the game live, and we'll sweat out what we hope is a good 6 ounces of glory. Alcantara, 4 starts in spring training, never gave up a run in that first inning. They only hit 154 off him. Scherzer the same way, 4 starts, no runs in that first inning. They only hit 0.77 off him. Marlins come into the season in the first inning, hitting 20th. Mets come into the hitting 25th. The Marlins only scored 6 runs in spring training in 27 games. The Mets scored 13 runs in 28 spring training games in the first inning. So Mets, Marlins, NRFI, Alcantara, Scherzer. That's your NRFI of the day. Come on back at 3 o'clock and watch it with me and sweat. Do you have a steal?
I do. I think I'm going to go ahead and say that the Toronto Blue Jays at a minus 105 or minus 108. I can't get off it. It's too low. If I lose, oh well. I make so many plays in a day, but this is, I've heard a couple people, yourself included, and even a couple of my close friends. It's opening day. This is a day they'll go a little bit overboard on. Again, it's one of those deals like you look at the Super Bowl, and not that you want to make necessarily like dumb plays, right? And I don't think it is a dumb play, but you may make a couple more than you normally would. And this is one, I think it's just too low priced for the offense you're getting for the edge in Manoah. I'll go ahead and take the Toronto Blue Jays and say that that's a steal at a low price.
All right, it's 7th inning coming to a stretch. If you haven't liked all that shit before, well, stay tuned because you're about to get our best bet of the day right here in 7th inning coming to a stretch. For me, it's that Rockies F5 team total over 1.5 runs, plus 115. Squirrel, when did we target the Rockies last season?
Well, there's a couple different times you can, but I think it was against left-handers and at home.
There it is, against left-handers, yeah, at home, but really just against left-handers. They smoked left-handers.
If you're looking for an over, it's Rockies at home, that's for sure. But yeah, I remember left-handers and particularly left-handers at home was generally when you'd want to hit them up.
Yeah, they've picked off right where they left off last year in spring training, off left-handers. They're number 2 in Major League Baseball, hitting 314, 386 on base, slugging 476. Chris Bryant is another player that's kind of contributed to their resurgence coming off an injury. He hit 321 in spring training and slugged 679. So Love that. Now, we got to look at what's going to be on the mound. You've mentioned Blake Snell and maybe taking his under 6.5 Ks. This is what he did in spring training. 16 innings pitched, 13 hits, 10 runs, 3 home runs, 6 walks, 17 Ks. He went up against these Rockies 4 times in 2022. This bet would have cashed in 3 of those 4 starts where he got rocked. 20.1 innings pitched, 19 hits, 12 runs, 12 walks, and 26 Ks. So that's going to be my best bet of the day. Rockies F5 team total. I will tell you, just because we're talking about this game, my favorite over of the day is this game. I expect the Rockies to hit Snell, and I also expect Marquez to get rocked by the Padres. So I don't know why this line is going down. People are jumping on this under. We're putting respect on Snell and Marquez, but this is a division game. Everybody knows there's so much hitter familiarity. This is my favorite over the day, but I just want to focus on the Rockies F5 team total at plus 115 at plus 105 or over 105. What you got there, Squirrel, for your best bet of the day?
I think I'm going to end up being against Jason here on the Twins game. And I think he had the Kansas City Royals on the, I think what the 4th inning for one of his long shots. You were on the Royals, is that right?
Yep, I like the Royals.
I like the other side, and not just because I'm a homer, but I definitely do. I was sad to see Luis Arias go. We picked up Pablo Lopez, which is the starter here in that trade deal. And there's some nice addition. I think one of the last year's Royals is on the team now. Michael A. Taylor, wasn't he a Royal last year? He's at the bottom of the lineup, it looks like now. I'm pretty sure he was a Royals player. But you still have Kepler, Correa. No, you don't. Correa? Didn't he get traded or?
Correa.
It shows that
was
he's
that
on here.
debacle of his medical exam. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah,
know
something weird. Anyway, Buxton's still around. And I don't know. So at a minus 150, it is a price that it's higher than what I normally pay. I do have another favorite team that I will put in my double play. It's going to be with the Twins. So, whether you want to bet it straight or not, up to you. But I'm not really with you on the Royals there today, though. I think we have a pretty strong team there in the Twins.
Great. That's why the viewing audience loves this. They don't. They love the difference of opinion. So love to see it. All right, double play, 8th inning. Favorite parlay of the day. You said Twins. Who are you parlaying those Twins possibly with?
Mostly because of the price, but again because of the pitcher as well. I like the Milwaukee Brewers. Honestly, that's minus 130 now. So you get a 130 and a 150 if you put them together. It's plus 185 for 2 favorites. Which if I'm going to parlay something, I'm generally not looking to take something like the Giants at a plus 160. I mean, I'm already getting a good enough price there. I think that I don't need to lower my possible win rate to try to get a better price there. So the Twins and the Brewers, I guess, if I were going to make a favorite parlay, that's probably what I would do. But I really don't bet parlays, truthfully. It's more just for fun for the show. But
we'll get to official bets. I mean, we're providing content and previews for the game. So let's. So my favorite parlay of the day is I'm coming with you on the Brewers with Patrick Corbin versus Marcus Stroman. That's kind of a no-brainer right there. I'm going to tack on the Angels. We've kind of talked about why we like the Angels scoring runs off Mueller, and then you factor in Ohtani. Dominated the Athletics in 2022. I mean, he only gave up 3 runs in 25 innings pitched against the Athletics, 28 Ks in those 25 innings pitched. He should dominate again today. He's obviously coming off a good World Baseball Classic. So I think Angels Brewers at plus 151 is going to be your favorite parlay of the day. They're in baseball. All right, 9 innings. We've talked a lot. We've given out some bets. I need to get yours up on the screen because I was a touch late in getting yours. But let me snag your bets real quick.
Sure.
And let's throw yours up here. Well, you can walk through yours while I throw mine up if you want.
Large. Yeah. So pretty much in order, man. I don't even think we talked about the Pirates. I don't think I did. Anyway, that's one of my actual official bets from my Discord. Again, all of this stuff is based off of line movement, off of price. Beat the closing line. Again, another really good reason to wait until close to the first pitch or game time, really in any sport, is because those limits are going to be the highest like the bookmakers are accepting the most amount of money because the most information is available at that time. All the injuries have come in, the rosters are there. Then once they're comfortable that they have an efficient line, they will go ahead and raise those limits. So you're getting the most amount of money, the most amount of confirmation, and the big players are coming in at that time. So if you're seeing movement close to the first pitch, there's some heavy $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 bets coming in, and not maybe $1,000 to $3,000 the night before moving the line, which is another reason to get in early if you see a good price. So Giants at plus 160, go ahead there and try to fade the heavy price on. You got Garrett Cole, you've got those top 4 guys that everyone loves: Aaron Judge, Stanton, and LeMahieu. Probably missing one there, but oh well. You're not getting a bad team in the Giants at a plus 160. It's just too much. You got the White Sox there, much the same. Going against a perceived great team, right? And they are Houston Astros. But this is all basically predicated on price. The under 9 is now 8.5, and the Pirates, if you can still get them 124, don't think it's a bad price. And look at what that mark is. The mark of a profitable sports bettor generally is underdogs and unders. If you take unders in totals, if you take unders on props, they generally cash a little bit more, or your ROI is going to be better, even if your win percentage isn't as high.
Yeah, people know we scooped up a lot of NBA unders. I mean, public just loves an overs. They always think guys are going to do something rather than not do something, and you can always come in behind them and grab the under. I am surprised, though, that your Sox Orioles fell from 9 to 8.5. I thought that would have gone the other way. I mean, good Orioles offense, Red Sox offense, I think is competent. I didn't think overpowering starters on the mound, and bullpens maybe a bit unknown. I was a little surprised on that one. So, hey,
I think Camden Yards is definitely a more friendly ballpark to the hitters, though, than Fenway would be. And you have that huge wall and whatnot, right? They're famous for that. So maybe it's a little bit harder on the batters, but again, you have almost every good starter out there today. Minus Patrick Corbin, it seems, but
right.
We'll just rip on the guy.
Yeah, rip on him. So, all right, I've talked about all my bets. The only ones I'll expand on is that second bet, where I don't want to do the whole game NRFI for Giants, Phillies, and Mariners. I want to pluck those 3 teams out individually that they won't score in the first inning. Giants are going up against Garrett Cole. He didn't give up a run all spring training in the first inning. Just lights out, 176 on base. DeGrom, that's who the Phillies are facing. Clean in both starts in spring training. I trust him till the cows come home. And Mariners are going up against Shane Bieber, which Bieber's the ultimate NRFI pitcher. If you're going to say who's the best NRFI pitcher, it's Shane Bieber, absolutely, without a doubt. So we can get that little 3-legged parlay at minus 112. As for everything else, we've kind of talked about it, expanded on it. That Tigers F5 team total, I talked about it when I talked about them being my favorite dog of the day. That over 0.5, that is not a teaser line. That is the line that the books are offering you for the F5 team total. So not a teaser line. It's super juicy. So I hocked in on the Boston Bruins to come along for the ride. I don't know shit about hockey, but it looked like they were a big enough favorite for me. So come on along, home favorite. So that's how we're rolling today in opening day baseball, guys. Hit that like button. We got 8 bets. He's got 4 bets. You guys are going to add whatever the hell you're going to add to it on top of these 12 bets. Hit that like button. Let's bring in some positive energy. It's MLB opening day. Look forward to cashing these bets with you guys. Come on back at 3 p.m. Central Time if you want to sweat out a little Mets, Marlins, NRFI with me. 6 outs to glory is all we need to get a good cash. So look forward to sweating that one out with you guys, and look forward to hanging out with you guys each and every day live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time right here, live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where we'll do the same kind of run through every day, talking about the day's baseball slate. Hope you guys enjoy this baseball season. Enjoy opening day, and appreciate you guys hanging out with us, Squirrel. Thank you. Enjoy opening day, my man.
See you later, buddy.
Have a good one.
You as well.